Hey everyone! So it's been a while. I've been really busy with schoolwork and things have just been really hectic lately. But today I'm gonna be doing a brush review for you guys on Sedona lace brushes. So for this particular set you get a total of 12 brushes and they come in this really nifty brush holder. I'm actually really happy with the quality of the brushes. They're very soft, and if you ladies own any brushes from Real Techniques or any of the kabuki brushes from Everyday Minerals, the bristles are very similar. They're dense and they're very soft, not scratchy at all. Now the brushes themselves are dual tone. The bristles on top are black and then the bristles underneath are pink. My biggest concern about the color was I was afraid that it was gonna bleed like crazy. My past experiences, brushes that come really colorful or dyed, they bleed a lot. Some of my coastal scent brushes still bleed to this day, and it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've bought them. They still bleed each and every time I wash them. With these brushes, however, there was no bleeding whatsoever, not even a little bit. The handles of the brushes are quite long. They're longer than the handles that I'm used to, so I do notice that the handle does hit the mirror if I get too close, especially with the eye brushes, so that may be a con for some of you ladies out there who don't really like brushes with super long handles, because it does become kind of complicated and like annoying when you're trying to like go close to the mirror to like do your eye makeup and the brush hits the mirror. And if you're like me, I don't have good eyesight. I'm both far-sighted and nearsighted, so I mean I'm not blind, but it's hard when I have to like do things that require like detail and precision, like doing eyeshadow and stuff, and I don't have contacts, so without my glasses it's blurry and it's really hard to actually do it. So you guys can imagine how difficult it is for me sometimes to actually film tutorials for you guys, because half the time I feel like I can't even see what I'm doing. Other than that, I'm actually very pleased with the quality of the brushes overall. So now I'm actually going to go through and talk about each individual brush and maybe some things that I'd like or some things that I might dislike about each brush. So the first brush is this one right here, this fluffy powder brush. This is their 376 powder brush. As you can see, it's very fluffy and very large. The brush itself is not super thick. It's thick enough, but it's not like super dense. As you can see, it's quite large, so it makes powdering very quick and easy. Okay, so next up we have their 813, and this is a dual fiber brush. Oops, sorry, there you go. And again, you have that dual color, and once again, this brush also very dense. So with these type of dual fiber brushes, I am actually really picky, especially picky with these ones, because I feel like it's really hard to find a good quality one. So I know that some people use these to apply liquid foundation, and for me I was like, how does that work? Because mine were so thin that I couldn't really stipple. It was just like bam, you know? It wasn't like giving me a good resistance when I would try to stipple on my makeup. But with this one, it's actually really nice. Like, it's dense in the middle down here, but on the top it like gets sparse, I guess. So it's like you get the right amount of resistance, but then you also have like that feathery effect that can give you that airbrush look when you're using your liquid foundation. So I would say this is probably my favorite face brush in the set right now. So yeah, definitely like this one quite a bit. So next up is their 277, and this is a classic flat top foundation brush. And this one also as well is nice and thick. In my opinion, this brush is the perfect size. It's not too big and it's not too small as well, so it gives you nice control on where you're applying your foundation, and it's big enough where you can do it quickly, and it's also small enough where you can get into the corners. So yep, that's that. So the last face brush is their 850, and this is a large angle contour brush. I don't really own an angle contour brush that is like in this size and perfect density. The ones I do have are quite thin. So when I do my contouring of my cheeks, it tends to leave that line where you apply your contour powder or your bronzer. This one, it's actually just the right width and density on top. Like, it's not too thin where it's narrow, but it's not too large as well. So probably my second favorite brush from the face brushes. Alright, so the rest of the brushes are eye brushes. So this is the 954. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty. I just used it. And this is their concealer brush. I can't really decide whether or not I like this brush because personally when I apply concealer under my eyes, I like to use something a little more fluffy. And I also feel like the size of this brush is too large to do any kind of precision concealing with, like, let's say you have like a zit or something. It's a little bit hard to do that since it's quite large. For my face, I'm a little bit icky about it, but I do love it as a concealer brush to use on my tattoo. So when I cover my tattoo, it's like the perfect size. Alright, so next up is their 407, and this is the medium angle shading brush. This is my favorite eye brush out of all of them, and just because I feel like it's so versatile. You can see that it's angled, it's also nicely dense. I personally use this as a concealer brush. I really like dense brushes. I like fluffy dense brushes to apply concealer because I feel like it's easier to blend it out. And I also love to use this brush as a nose contour brush. Next brush is their 561, and this is an angled eyeliner brush. And it looks like this. Sorry, again, it's a little bit dirty. I should have cleaned these before I did the video, but I totally forgot. So next up is 941. This is a large shader brush, and it just looks like this. So the next brush is the 863, and this is a taper blending brush. This is my second favorite brush out of the eye set. Again, because of the different uses you can use for it. Sedona recommends this brush as obviously a blending brush for blending out colors in your crease. I actually also like to use this brush as a mini powder brush for under my eyes after I apply concealer. So I like using that to apply powder under my eyes rather than using it as a crease brush, just because it's a little bit large for my eyes. So I find that the colors kind of go everywhere, so I would prefer a smaller blending brush, but as a powder brush for my eye area or any smaller areas of my face, I quite like it. So the next brush is their 904 pencil brush. Now you can use this brush to apply eyeshadow or smudge eyeliners or shadows under your for your lower lash line, or they also say that you can use this as a lip brush. Now the second to last brush is their 305, and this is the eye shading brush, so another eyeshadow brush. The bristles on this brush is a lot shorter than the other ones, and it's also very, very dense. So it works pretty well if you're actually just like packing on the eyeshadow on your eyelid. And the last brush in the set is the 772, and this is an eyeliner brush. I don't really think this brush applies eyeliner well because it's not dense enough for my liking. But I do actually like this again as a mini concealer brush for my tattoos when I'm doing the smaller areas that need to be covered. This works really well getting those like little smaller details. So I don't use this on my face, but I do use it when covering my tattoos. Again, like the other brush. And then the case you can also use as a brush holder, which is pretty nifty. I like that a lot. I like multifunctional stuff. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on brushes, this is a really good set to get. It pretty much gives you all the brushes you need to do any makeup look, and the price is great for the quality brushes that you actually get compared to, let's say, one MAC brush that costs like $20, $30. Really not pocket friendly for students, especially as college students. So I would totally recommend you guys check out Sedona Lace. I'll link down on the description box to the link to these brushes and also to their website. And yeah, so you guys have any questions, you guys want some pictures on my blog, anything like that, just leave a comment down below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!